I'm always super excited whenever I hear that a diasporan has built something, has done something, because I really want to showcase it to you guys at home to see the opportunities that we have on the motherland. Edmund Ahudame has built the BridgeView Resort right here in Akosombo. When I tell you the view, when I tell you the atmosphere, when I tell you the breeze, when I tell you the rooms are absolutely luxurious, yes, and it's right here in Ghana, our motherland. You have no excuse to come back and invest. He's a lawyer in the US, based in Washington, and he's like, Denta, 2 years ago, I built this. And so I'm gonna hear his journey, why he decided to come back, and why he built this amazing resort. Hi, Edmund.
Lady Denta, it is good to see you again. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
Like stunning.
Thank you.
My goodness, and obviously there's still construction going on.
Right, we're expanding, we're adding more rooms, we're adding more amenities, so it's a work in progress.
It's work in progress.
Yes.
So a lawyer.
Yes.
In the US.
Yes.
Making good money,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And you decided to come home.
Yes.
What was the trigger for you?
I've always had a passion for Africa. I've had a passion for Ghana. And I believe that the private sector has a key role in developing the country. The government can do it all. And so over the years, you come back home and this is where you're most comfortable. Right. This is where the passion is. So I decided to invest heavily in Ghana. And over the past, I would say 20 plus years that I've lived in the States, I always came home. Wow. There wasn't a single year where I wasn't in Ghana.
Right.
And so to anyone who would listen to me, my law firms, my friends, all I talked about was Ghana.
Wow.
And I encouraged my friends that, look, this is home. It is on us to help reduce unemployment, to help fix the roads, to help fix the healthcare system. To whom much is given, much is expected. And so for me, it was always about doing something that had a significant impact on the country, something that highlighted the country in a different light, because you all know what the perception of Africa is outside of Africa. And so I believe BridgeView is an example of a place that highlights Africa in a different light.
Oh.
All right?
So Edmund, is this place fully Ghanaian owned?
Yes, this is not only Ghanaian owned, but most importantly, it's fully Ghanaian operated.
Wow. Was that really important for you?
Very important.
Okay.
That was key, because what you see in most establishments, what they will tell you is that, you got to bring in a foreigner to run the place.
Okay, so it was really important for you to make sure that
Yes.
everybody that works here is Ghanaian.
Yes, and because I believe in us. I believe that we've got the capabilities, we've got the passion to really build businesses and grow businesses. This is our reception area, and this is where, guests would usually come, hang out. We call it, a little sort of wine bar. Sometimes people hang out here, get some drinks.
I love the lighting.
Yes, and again, the carpenters, everyone that worked here, fully Ghanaian.
This was all done in Ghana?
This was all done in Ghana.
No.
Yes.
Out of all the areas, why Akosombo?
So, my story goes back to coming back to Ghana so often, where I felt like this is where my energy is, this is where my passion is. And so I talked to it, coming back home, to everyone who would listen.
When you tell them, what do they say?
They only tell you about the challenges, right? The road, the government, all of that. But to me, again, the private sector has a key role in solving all of those challenges. And so I had a friend that, I would come home to all the time, and I'd be like, I need to come back here. I need to do something significant. And so about 3 years ago, he said, come check out the Akosombo Atimpoku area. I drove out here, we parked down at the market.
Yeah.
And if you've ever done that, you see how many women rush at you.
Oh, yeah.
Selling a bolo, 1,000, trophy. and frankly, not for a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, and so I looked at the area, and again, at that point, this rivaled San Francisco, it rivaled LA, rivaled Virginia. But what you could see was a significant amount of unemployment.
Yeah.
And so I decided that, look, we had to do something significant. We had to do something that highlighted the beauty of the country, the beauty of the area. So somehow we found a way to climb up the mountain. At that point, it was not easy. It was,
Yeah.
basically what you see across the
Yes.
mountain. But we did that, and again, the bridge reminded me of the Golden Gate Bridge. It reminded, the lake, the topography. It just reminded me of elements in developed countries that are cherished.
For me, this show, the Diaspora Transition show, is really to encourage other diasporans.
Yes.
But I want us to be real.
Yes.
That there are challenges.
Yes.
But the end goal is this.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel really encouraged when I see diasporans doing something in Ghana, because it's one of the things that I think is really important, as we spoke about whilst walking. Because if we don't do it, then who else,
Who else
right?
will do it?
Otherwise, there's other communities who will take advantage
Yes.
and invest in Ghana whilst we are there still complaining, right? Bitterly that this is not done, this is not done, why?
Yes.
And you've created job opportunities for
Yeah.
over 100 people,
Yeah.
right? And this is what we need,
Yes.
job creation for the youth.
Yes, it's
right?
important.
And especially the community here, they're
Yes.
benefiting from what you're doing.
Yes.
So I want to go back, getting the land for this place. How was it? How did it go? Were there a lot of challenges?
One of the things is that I wasn't naive about the challenges. I didn't come in thinking that, this is the States or the UK where I could, just do a land search and, go through the process smoothly. So I think that's the biggest thing for the diaspora. You have to understand that there will be challenges, but within those challenges, there are opportunities. And so, 3 years ago, a friend told me about the area. I came up, I climbed the mountain. Again, it was a difficult climb.
Yeah.
But I got up here, and looking at the bridge, it reminded me of where I was living at that point in time, which is San Francisco. And looking at the topography, it rivaled, all these, developed countries.
Yeah.
You would see, the lake, the mountains, elements that are cherished in developed countries. And so I was determined to get the land, right? This started out as a fairly small project. I was
Okay.
able to initially acquire, I think it was 5 or 4 plots.
Okay.
And, we started the project and started talking to the people who owned it. And, surprisingly, they were willing to sell. And so, individuals would sell, we would go to the chiefs, we would make sure that it was a legit sale, and we would compensate the chiefs as well. But obviously, easier said than done, right? We still had people who would come, they would claim ownership.
When they claimed ownership, did they have documents to back it up?
Not really.
Okay.
Right, not really. And if they did, you would look at the document and you would notice that there was usually a provision that said that if you don't develop the land within X amount of time,
Okay.
you lose all control of it,
Right.
right? So even though someone may have bought it a couple of years ago, or, I think the most significant challenge was someone who had bought it in '98, right? There was a provision in his document that said that you have to develop it within X amount of time. They hadn't developed it, but we still compensated them just to make sure that the process was smooth. And so working with individuals, working with the chiefs, working with the paramount chiefs, we were able to obtain full ownership.
Okay. And how long was that process?
I would say about 2 years.
2 years.
If you're going to do business in Ghana, you have to be present. And, again, it's easier said than
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Yes.
After you got the land
Yes.
title, what was the next thing that happened?
So it was getting qualified contractors to do it. And again, my goal was to make sure that I was bringing employment to the community. And so my contractors, again, were all Ghanaian, and this wasn't going to be an easy process. And so it required me to regularly come from San Francisco to the area to supervise But over time, I'm not naive. I understand that with construction of this magnitude, there would be challenges. And so we did face challenges, but I had the mindset that I was going to finish the project.
What type of challenges did you have?
Sometimes it was just poor quality in design, poor choices and, tiles. I remember having to break my entire car park because it wasn't level. Had to do a lot of redos on our pool because it's different.
Right.
And, not many people have built something like this. And so the key though was that I was present here a lot. And so as soon as the mistake happened, I could rectify it.
Okay. Do you think that with Ghanaians, the attention to detail is an issue?
I think it's an issue because they're not exposed.
Experience.
It's exposure, right? And if you're not exposed, you don't know that, tiles have to be laid, this particular way, or, the rooms have to look a certain way. And so I don't always look at it as a disadvantage. I look at it as an opportunity to train. And so, a lot of people here started out without that attention to detail, but now you talk to them or they walk around here and they spot everything. And so I looked at it as an opportunity to expose them to the standards that we know.
Yeah. You spoke about the fact that you had to come back often to check and to make sure that you're present through the process. Somebody that's in the diaspora might not have that time.
Yes.
They just want to send the money and get the work done.
Yes.
But what would your advice be to them if you're not present?
Yes. So I've had projects where I could not be present. What I do is at the end of every day, you send me a video.
Okay.
We're doing FaceTime. Now technology is advanced in such a way that you could set cameras on your site, right? So I did some of that here, but at least request for a video. Talk to the contractors often. Make sure that every single thing that they're doing is what you want. And so even though these are challenges, I think we're at a point in time where there are solutions to these challenges. I used to hear stories of people building a house and someone would send them pictures of some other house, right?
Oh my goodness.
But I think that's difficult to pull off now, and so just being
very
vigilant,
difficult.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, being vigilant, understanding that there are challenges, not being naive, and trying to be as present as possible is the solution.
Did you have family members also looking out
Yes.
for your interests?
Yes, that's important. I had my mother-in-law, I had my father, I had my mother regularly, stop by. I had friends, and they would come, they would critique, we would change it, but that's important. And I also understand that not everyone would have family here to do that. So I've been fortunate, but I think there are solutions to all of that.
Was it during the time you were building that you found out that you're actually from Akosombo?
Yes.
How did that come full circle?
So it was actually after I had an uncle who said, "Oh, I hear you've got a project around the Adome Bridge." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, the Adome Bridge, Grandpa and I used to go to Akosombo all the time." Like, for what?
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers, yes. And I'm like, why would, Grandpa go to Akosombo? And he's like, "You don't know that you're from here?" Right. So he tells me to text the Paramount Chief, ODANA, and he's like, text him and tell him that your grandfather is the late lawyer Amofar. So, I had a really good relationship with ODANA. I text him and he's like, "No way."
My goodness.
No way, right? And so, this is a story of, basically coming to a place where my family is from. My grandfather is, we're not just from here. We are royals at, Akosombo. So I'm more than excited.
Oh my goodness. That's like, it's come full circle, right?
Yes.
And the fact that when you came, you fell in love with it. It's like your spirit fell in love with it.
Like your soul is here, right? Like you're passionate. Like despite all the challenges, it's like you feel like you can make a significant difference in the community. And now I walk around and I see all these people employed. And we're not just providing employment, but we're creating an environment where people are happy to be here. People, they know the vision. This is a small part of what that vision is. And you talk to my staff, and they talk like they own the place, right? Like, I've got Justice here, I've got Stephen, and these are all locals. And what you also realize is the talent that we have here, right? It's incredible. I don't have to hire anyone from, some other country.
Right.
We have it right here. And so it's a story of coming back home.
Wow.
It's a story of providing opportunity that may otherwise not have been here. It's a story of employees who are passionate, right? Like, I can leave here and I'm sure, or I'll be confident that these guys have my best interest at heart.
Absolutely. And how long did it take you to build?
Yes. So I was aggressive. It took just a little over 2 years.
Okay.
And that was because I believed in it.
Wow.
I believed in the beauty of the area. I believed in the promise of the area. And so, my wife and I, we invested heavily to make sure that,
you can see it.
right, with real estate, it's almost as if your money is locked up.
Oh, yeah.
So you can open it up. And so we were aggressive and we were able to get it done within 2 years.
And what other developments do you have to do around to make it perfect for you?
First of all, the roads, right? Again, this is what we were facing when we started. And so building the roads up to the mountains. The biggest challenge we had was there was an oil line that couldn't go beneath. And so the road is still a little steep. And so we're working on developing another route that takes you to the back.
Okay. And even to put in the lights on the bridge.
Yes. The bridge became our signature. And so we changed the bulbs. And, the goal is that at some point we would be able to control the colors on the bridge so that when it's Independence Day, you've got the bridge red, gold, green with a black star, and then this whole place is red, gold, green. And so I see this place as highlighting the beauty of the country. You come up here and, this is LA, this is San Francisco, and I just see a lot of opportunity for the diaspora. I think this is a place where, or Ghana, not just this place. Ghana is a place where, we can help bring employment. We can help bring development.
How was recruitment?
I left it to someone else to do. I had a very competent HR lady, Comfort Dogbe, and she took care of it. I told her, I just had to say, I want competent people from the area.
Okay.
And so what you will notice again is 95% of the people are locals.
Local.
These are people who, they've got the passion, they are smart, they are dedicated, and look, they treat the business like their own, right? And so that was all I had to tell her. She delivered,
So tell us about how many acres, how many rooms? I know you're still expanding.
Yes. So the goal is that, we would have about 50 rooms within the next year or two.
Fantastic.
But the focus here is going to be on recreational activities. Recreational activities that highlight the beauty of the region.
Right.
And so right now we've got hiking that takes you to the top of one of the mountains here.
Oh, fantastic.
And you get up there and it's like, whoa, this is Ghana. Wow. We've got a boat cruise that runs through the Volta Lake. And again, people do it and like, wow, And I always encourage people, do it at night or do it at, 6 p.m. when the bridge comes on. But we're planning ATVs at the peak of the mountain. We're planning to have a zip line from here to the other mountain. But it's, it's almost as if, like you go to Cancun or some other place and there is so much to do. And a lot of places in Ghana, you go there and it's, aqua safari is great. You can do this jet skis and, all of that. And one thing that I don't see it as a competition. I'm close friends with,
Sam.
with Afari from Royal Senchi. I feel like if we all work together,
You complement each other.
We complement each other, right? You go to every other place and it's hotels
Yeah.
on hotels on
Yeah.
hotels,
Yeah.
right?
And they're all full.
They're all full, right? And so if we can work together, I'm actually partnered with Royal Saint. She says
Okay.
that if my rooms are full, I
send
send
them over
everybody,
there.
and they give me a great deal, right?
fantastic.
If I'm having a conference here and I can't hold everyone, I send them over there.
Okay.
And so I think that mentality where it's like we can help each other.
yeah.
We're not only helping each other, but we're helping the community.
Yeah.
We're helping the community in a way that brings employment,
Yeah.
and to me, that's
key.
That's key. That's
Yeah.
key to the development of the country. The government can't do it all,
Yeah.
you know, and so it's on us.
Yeah.
You know, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Absolutely. I mean, I am so impressed by the view, how it's just decored, the color scheme,
Yeah.
everything is on
Thank
point.
you.
Everything was thoroughly thought through. And you can, at the moment, you can see kids playing, they're
Yeah.
happy, their families are
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
What type of events are you getting here? Okay.
A lot of birthday celebrations, weddings. We just had a massive wedding at the back. We had all, you know, stars from all over, Kanata, Sister Fier. And it's, you know, just seeing the joy, right? Like just seeing people come up. What I love is when people get down from their cars and immediately they take their phones out.
No, we got out of the car, we were all like, whoa.
Right. And a lot of it, I don't necessarily credit to this. I credit to the beauty of the country.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost as if, you know, they get down and it's the island. It's like, wow. It's like 99% of the country, we've never seen the country in this light. And it's not just this area. You know,
It's
it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I drive through Hull, I go to Kumasi, you go to ODANA, and you're like, yo, this is, again, San Francisco, this is LA, this is this is right. But it's underdeveloped. And so to me, if you talk to any of my friends, you talk to any of the law firms that I've been to, all I talk about is the promise of Africa, the beauty of Africa. And I believe that you go to New York, there are more Ghanaian lawyers or doctors than there in this country. If we could invest here, we could make a significant difference.
Absolutely.
You know, all the challenges that we complain about, roads, unemployment, healthcare, we could fix it.
We can absolutely fix it. So to end that, you know, what are your last words to diasporans who are still thinking, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I mean, I have the money, but it's too stressful. I can't deal.
Yeah. You know, I would say that if I can do it, anyone can do it. There's nothing special about me. I went to Christ the King, then I went to Persec, then I went to, you know, undergrad and law school. But I had the passion for the country. And if you have that passion, and again, don't be naive, right?
Yeah.
There are challenges. Don't think this is the States where, right? But with every challenge comes opportunity. Even in the States, they'll tell you, you know, the more risk there is, the more reward, right?
Yeah.
And so I would call in, and I've been doing this. I've hosted events here where I call on, you know, the diaspora that this is our opportunity. Again, to whom much is given, much is expected. We cannot expect the government to develop the entire country. This is our home. If you're there, you're successful, invested in the country. And you know, with organizations like yours, I think you're making it easier for the diaspora to understand what the process is, land. And I just believe, look, you come to Ghana in December, right? They call it Dirty December right now. And it's the joy and, you know, everything it's different.
Yeah.
This is where we're most comfortable. I was telling you, when my kids are here, it's a fight at the airport to get them out, right? And so, you know, I'm hoping over time, or I envision that 10 years from now, we're all investing significantly. We're helping the government. We're reducing unemployment. We are building roads. We're building hospitals because the Ghanaians, in the States and UK are very successful.
Yeah.
We're smart. And, I just call them diaspora to invest in the country.
Fantastic. But do you see yourself moving to Ghana full-time eventually?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, my kids are going to fight with me when it's time
Yeah.
to go back. So I'm working. I'm not currently barred to practice law in the country,
Okay.
but that's something I'm working on.
Okay.
But I believe that presence is important, inspiring, the youth.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you see that someone can do it, right? It gives you that motivation.
Absolutely.
Just seeing that another person who looks like you,
Yeah.
who's gone through that same path, can do it, that's inspiration.
Absolutely.
And so I see myself being here, being present, contributing to the community in such a way that other people see that, there's a lot of opportunity here.
Absolutely.
We need to get away from the point where everybody thinks they got to go to the greener pastures, right?
Yeah.
You talk to a lot of successful businessmen here, and it's encouraging.
Yeah.
There's no place for me where I can be myself as I feel here.
Thank you so much, Edmund.
Thank you.
It's been a joy. I know my audience are going crazy right now. They're Googling right now, BridgeView Resorts, and they're going to be coming here in their numbers. But I do want to come here in the night to see the lights, to see all the colors, all the beauty at night as well, because the day is breathtaking. So I'm sure the evening is going to be another level.
It's a whole different.
So guys, if you're out there, this is the place to be. And the time is now for us diasporans. Not in 10 years, not in 20 years, but the time is now. Come and invest back home in Ghana. See you all next time. God bless.